Chapter 9. Love is Sacrifice. A rare gift of love. A couple lived in a town. They longed for a baby for quite some time. Just then, the couple come to know that they are going to be blessed with a child. Often, both of them would talk about their child, what name they are going to choose, in which school the child will be sent, etc. The time passed by like this, and soon the day arrived when they become the proud parents of a baby boy. They were extremely happy to be parents. The mother was very curious to see her child, and she asked the nurse, "Can I see my baby?" The baby was wrapped in a beautiful baby sheet. When the bundle of joy was cuddled up in her arms, she was at the top of the world, and she turned the fold of the sheet looking upon his divine face, and her breath stopped for a moment. The doctor also knew no words to console and started looking out into the sky through hospital window. The baby had been born without ears. The couple was stunned and could not utter anything. They decided to take shelter of God only. Time passed by, but there was one thing to cheer up: that baby's hearing was perfect. It was only his blemished appearance that his outer ears were missing. The baby grew up and started going to school. One day, when he rushed home from school and kept himself into his mother's arm, the mother could presume that her son's life was going to be miserable. The boy cried and revealed the tragedy to his mother that very often boys bully him in the school, tease him and call him a freak. He grew up handsome and was a favorite among his teachers. He developed an inborn talent for literature and music. His mother would often suggest him to mingle with other young people, but felt a kindness in her heart. Both parents many a times thought to find a solution to this problem, as they could not see the child feel humiliated anymore. The father had a long discussion with the family physician, who suggested that nothing could be done. Only one situation he could see was grafting of a pair of outer ears, if they could be procured. 2 years passed by when the search began for a person who would make such a sacrifice for a young man. Lastly, they could find the solution with them. One day, the father told the son that he had to be hospitalized because someone was going to donate a pair of outer ears for him. The son expressed his curiosity to know who was the great person was. "The person wants to keep it as secret," told the father. Finally, the day arrived. The surgery took place by a team of experts and was highly successful, and a new person emerged. His talents flourished into brilliance, and his student life became a succession of achievements. Later, he joined the diplomatic service and got married also. One day, he insisted his father that he must know who sacrificed so much for him, and he could not do enough for him. The father convinced him that he does not believe he could do anything, and lovingly gave him a pat that, as per the agreement, he was not to ask who the person was. Time kept their deep secret with themselves, but the darkest day came in the life of this young man too, which every son must endure. He stood next to his father over his mother's casket. The father slowly and tenderly stretched out a hand and lifted up the thick reddish brown hair to disclose that the mother had no outer ears. Father told him that mother was glad. She never let her hair to cut. and asked his son whether he could ever think mother be less beautiful. The son was astonished to this ultimate example of sacrifice and cried bitterly, embracing father. It was such an emotional moment for him that he could not utter a word but only thought that real beauty lies in the heart, not in the physical appearance. Real love does not lie in what is done and known, but lies in what that is done and not known. In the same manner, real treasure of love and sacrifice does not lie in what that can be seen, but in that what cannot be seen. One should sacrifice to have a better future. Sacrifice is being willing to give up something good for something better. Life is full of boundless possibilities, but in order to transform a possibility into a reality, we have to choose, sacrificing the many in order to attain the one. Nothing is gained without something relinquished. It is the ability to protect others for their sake, not yours. Sacrifice means giving away something for higher fulfillment. It is therefore not a loss but a gain. It involves giving but not losing. When we give something, it returns to us manifold. There can be no life without sacrifice. There is both a sacrificer and a recipient of sacrifice, as well as there is something material or non-material that is sacrifice. There can be a mediator or facilitator also. Sacrifice increases one's self-control. Sacrifice is also a way of showing guilt. It is something a way of apology too. Sacrifice is something that helps one to grow. It helps to clear all the barriers, showing guilt in the journey of a peaceful life. Without sacrifice, there is no gain. Our lives grow from day to day without a hill or a mountain. Sacrifice should be selfless. If you are doing it expecting something in return, then it's not a sacrifice. Sacrifice at times won't make you happy at that time, but in future, you will realize that you did right by doing it. Be selfless and do sacrifice for your family, friends, for society, wherever and however possible. Willingness to sacrifice, even the supreme sacrifice of life, is surely important and spiritually liberating. Sacrifice grounds you. It makes you realize the meaning of void and makes you understand others to a great depth. It is something that helps you to understand yourself and others.